I know I should have made this video of week earlier, because that would be ideal time for that, for a perfect revision, and I felt that same when I gave my NEET in 2022 and cleared it. Okay, um, but I think enough time is still left, and because there are many videos in YouTube where they are just posting videos in series like what to be done in uh, 3 hours before need, the day before need, on the day of need. There is the normal body physiology of a student knows how to handle the stress of that level. They have given exams, that boards, many and so many mock tests, by then so they know what's the point of making those videos in this point of time. So what I have kept here is a perfect revision strategy at the 11th hour. Okay, on generally NEET on attempts biology, then chemistry, then physics. That is fine, but while revising, I think if physics is done earlier, it sort of gives a confidence, and also the tough subject is being done earlier. So and at the last moment, if one, and since biology has many data, if one revises biology at the last, it stays in memory, so it helps. I think this will help much. Without losing any time, let's come to the main content. In physics, one must start with modern physics. It's very easy, very scoring. There's just very few formulas, and it's also related to the atomic chemistry. All those, the Balmer series, Pascal series, when electron jumps from one orbit to another. There's a very, then E equals to H nu, then de Broglie wave particle delta. All those very, very, very simple formula. You also add electromagnetic waves here, the same thing. Not the same thing, I mean very similar chapters. Then we have then focus on current and electromagnetism. It's very easy. If your current and electromagnetism is good, you are going to score some good marks. You need to know about those resistance circuits, Kirchhoff's law. Then in electromagnetism, into focus on the direction, particularly in electromagnetism, because if your direction is correct in electromagnetism numericals, you are going to nail the sum, and that's very easy. Okay, then similar to this, the four basic forces in nature. So after this, you complete gravitation, the very easy thing, except G, if equals to gm on m2 r square, you have some very few concepts like the gravitational potential or the escape velocity. You need to just brush up this concepts on once, and you will just nail it in exams. Then come to optics, especially focus on wave optics like the Young's formula, or then all the diffraction. There are some formulas like the resolution, which are very well written in NCERT, from the whichever source you have done. Actually, I also feel NCERT in physics is also very much good. There are many things. Even the NCERT numericals are very much good. There are apps for these NCERT solutions that's available freely in the Play Store, but of course you don't have time now. Also there's the HMM solution apps are also available in Play Store. Anyway, now come to elasticity and fluid dynamics. These are also very easy. Fluid dynamics, you need to know that viscosity, Bernoulli's theorem, a few numericals from the surface tension, then excess pressure. And in elasticity is basically in the Hooke's law, or a few things like the shearing, stress strain, and basically the numericals are based on the simple fact stress by strain equals to constant. There are just a few patent numericals from this part. Then come to the thermodynamics and kinetic theory of gases. These are again easy things, and you just need to and even thermodynamics is so well written in NCERT. I feel you should have, if you haven't read, you have missed something. But anyway, if your concept is fine, your numericals will be done, no problem. Then come to mechanics. This is something really tough for many students, and this has something weightage. If you like, you can start from rotational dynamics, because that's something very tough. There's a center of mass, then no always that common this pure rotation motion, when rotation and translation both are there, you need to do numericals from there. Then conservation of angular momentum. Coming to NLM, that is Newton's laws of motion, you have all those pulleys numericals, and you must be very clear in the pulley. And then like the block system numericals, and in basic and solving the numericals with the equations of motion, that is S equals to U2 plus habit square, V square equals to U square. plus 2 is all those very simple things. You know that you are doing probably all these from class 9 10. Yeah, so you know this, and especially also do these graphs, that is the constant velocity versus time acceleration versus time distribution versus time. You know the basic things. You just revise this concept very quickly. In vector focus the Rainman and boat river problems. If you think you just because those are very much confusing but very much easy, you can divide the forces into I mean the vectors into components. If that helps you, it will help you. Actually, in this time, if you think a particular basic concept, a particular topic is bothering you, you may view a short video on YouTube. But I don't think this is the time to watch some long revision videos which are being done across various platforms. I think it's actually some wastage of time. Then in errors, like a very common problem is resistors in parallel and find the error in the net resistance. This sort of problem, especially the one with the parallel combination, because there the delta by r square. Actually, what is the formula? It's 1 by r equals to 1 by r1 plus 1 by r2. If the two resistance have r1 and r2, let's consider. So then you need to differentiate both sides, that is delta by r square. This r square part you miss this, so this is an important problem. And I have kept wave and oscillations at the end because it used to bother me, and I think many gets bothered with it. Particularly those Doppler effect, those are not very much done detailed by all the platforms we study, but those are important. Some basic concepts are also there, like the energy of wave, velocity of particle. You just need to, and in oscillations also very particular things like that, from the equations of the wave. That is when you use the sine equation, then all those, there's the energy, amplitude, all those part there are little, can be little tricky. If you have cleared your concept, it's not never tricky. Then coming to chemistry. Okay, in chemistry you need to start with physical chemistry and complete periodic table and chemical bonding with it. I have written special focus on equilibrium because equilibrium is something which can bother you. Chemical equilibrium I think is bit easy because you just need to put on the formula, saying the equation. But in ionic equilibrium it can be little bit difficult, like the when it's the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. Of course that's much easier. Then there's something like those what's it, that precipitation part. So you need to just focus on those important topics. Equilibrium is something very important. In chemical bonding you need to just focus on hybridization like a pro. I mean, if you see CH4, you must be writing the sp3 within a millisecond, not just this. Okay, I missed something, that is coordination chemistry. You can keep it in physical chemistry also. And in of course it's in inorganic, but you do just after physical chemistry do the coordinate chemistry, coordinate compounds, and especially the color changes. You just make something sort of easier, that is in Vivgear. Okay, let me write it for you once. I think it will help you. Like it's Vivgear, right? So in violet indigo, its complementary is yellow, then blue's complementary is orange, then green's complementary is red. I think it will surely help you. Okay. Then come to organic chemistry. After your physical chemistry is done up to all this, in organic chemistry you actually need to focus from basic, from the IUPAC. Even insect have some very good IUPAC examples. You just look it once. Then in amines particularly, there are some reactions where you don't understand the mechanism so well, and you also don't need to understand. You just need to memorize few reactions. You do that in come to the coordinate chemistry. There are some conceptual things, but it's not much time to do headaches regarding all those tough mechanisms. But you just need to look all those ones, like you have the all the allyl condensations, and then in esterification it's alcohol that donates that is related to the proton, all those things. And then when it's hydrolysis done, where the H plus comes to the more electronegative atom, then OH to the more electropositive atom. This is a very basic concept, but when you implied it on this in mechanisms, and actually when you have mastered mechanisms, when you have mechanisms under your fingertips, under your grip, you can actually imply some difficult questions on your exam. Actually, I remember I correctly answered all the organic chemistry questions, and only because I used to focus on mechanisms much than just blindly memorizing this. Then in the haloalkane chapter, when it will be racemic combination, then or when it will be uh, which kind of substitution you just need to, and then again when it will be Hofmann elimination, I'm telling it in a hydrocarbon chapter. You just need to stick to these basics. Then in inorganic chemistry, especially in your block chemistry, I have heard that your S block is not in your syllabus, so it's benefit for you. But still, again, the problem is in D block and P block. P block is easy. Actually, there's a pattern of things. You just need to read NCERT in it, and you need to apply the concept of periodic table, because periodic table is something that is based on how is the atomic configuration. So, and if you have mastered periodic table and atomic structure, your SPDF, how to write the atomic formula, you have mastered in chemistry, particularly the block chemistry, and you must uh, focus on NCERT solely, because NCERT is just enough for in chemistry. And you, of course, you can't. And yes, metallurgy comes in chemistry, especially focus on the Ellingham diagram, then that iron ore extraction, that what's that called, the refractory furnace, you know that. So questions come from that, particularly again thermodynamics come there when it's the your exothermic, when it's endothermic reaction, what's the enthalpy. Focus on the NCERT graphs again there. It's important. Oh yeah, electrochemistry comes here. Electrochemistry is something very much important. Oh, I forgot one thing, that is in physical chemistry you have the solid state and hydrochemistry. You need to know this, like in when it's the in a solution, the vapor pressure, all those numericals. In solid chemistry, you just need to stick on with your basic understandings and the number of atoms. Like in even you, I think you have read even of that HCP in solid state chemistry, so just revise those concepts. In biology, you start with human physiology. I know much questions will not come from it, but it's something big, and you generally people get good understanding through complete human physiology. Then come to plant physiology, start with transport, because transport are some with basic, like the pushing forces, positive pulling forces, the suction, the transpiration pull theory. You just get something good in it. So then you do photosynthesis, then the plant hormones, and in photosynthesis, don't waste energy on that the oxidation potential concept is reversed than that from the standard thing what IUPAC recommends or not, and you rather focus on the light and dark reaction part, because it's the last minute revision. Sorry, where I need to focus on some really high yielding topics. Okay, then after, and what I have told in human physiology, because I think you should know it correctly. In cardiology, focus on the cardiac cycle, that is the joint diastole. Basically, it's simple, for a level, it's simple. That is just 0.1 second for arterial systole, diastole. Arterial systole, 0.7 second for arterial diastole, 0.3 second for ventricular systole, 0.5 second for ventricular. I'm mistaking. I'm sorry. Ventricular diastole and ventricular systole, 0.4 for joint diastole. It's very easy. You don't need the steps which we read in MBBS, that is the isovolumetric relaxation, then your active feeling, passive feeling, active feeling, then isovolumetric contraction, rapid rejection, delayed rejection. You don't need to know all this. If you have read this, it would it would have been helpful if you're an MBBS student, not in this point. You just need to know the basic of cardio cycle. Then in neurology, you must know about that what's that called? I'm sorry. That action potential. That's the inside of the cell is negative due to the proteins and phosphates. Then that's how the sodium potassium ATPase pump makes the resting movement potential and all that. But you need, then you come to the health and disease. You prefer reading all those vaccines and all. Much details is not required. Just you read, revise what we have completed. Then the strategies of food for enhancement of food production and ecology. These are very easy but very scoring. You need to focus on these things very detailed, and obviously for biology and set is a must. Then come to human reproduction and reproductive health. You don't need to focus on embryology much. If you have read something, just revise that. And reproductive health is very good because you must need to know that when progesterone is sort of stopping ovulation and when progesterone is helping in pregnancy. Okay, because in the first 14 days, when you give progesterone, it will do negative feedback on the gonadotropins until I mean, pause ovulation that causing anovulation. That's beneficial. But in the after fertilization, also in the within the first 72 hours, progesterone has role. I'm not denying. But then when it's implanted, the progesterone of course helps. Then you need drugs like mifepristone to I mean, if abortion actually and post if accidental copulation or accidentally implantation occurs, then kindly that is what is called ulipristal is given. Although you will read under pharmacology, so don't bother now, just focus on what you have in NCT. Then you that interuterine devices and all unit and silicone implants, you just need to focus on this. There's and yes, that population pyramid, like the spindle shaped one, that's the more the middle aged population, then the triangular, then inverted one, the yes, this comes little bit. Just stick on NCT. Then come to biotechnology. It's very easy, that plasmid and all your are that insulin production, then that restriction the nucleus cutting at palindromic side. You just love this part, so read it. Then come to comes genetics and mental and genetics. Nothing much is required. You just need to focus. You have actually know from your childhood days this Punnett square checker box. You can do it easily. Just I don't think hemophilia color blindness will bother you anymore. Just the probabilities of progeny from the gametes. I am giving a basic trick, like say DD, EE, FF. Let's do it DD, EE, FF. So you see the probability. So the question is the probability of DD, EE, F. So this that DD cross DD. I mean capital. This hybrid cross the dominant one. The. I'm sorry, it's not possible. You just take the probability that it's what it's DD and DD. It's just what it's just 50%, and E cross is same. And when I have done all those, it's simple. It's like I think it's 1/8. Just to check it once. You just check the probability for the individual type, and then you can take the aid of Chicago punch square, then just multiply. This is a basic thing. This will help. And then when it comes to a molecular genetics, you just need to focus on the insect only again. It's your translations bit difficult, like the ribosome shapes, and you have the P side, A side. It may trouble a little bit, but it's for your biochemistry and pathology, but not pathology actually, biochemistry only. But it's very easy in NCT. Then you focus on the transcription, that Webel hypothesis, then your codons, Transcription is a bit of easier. In replication, okay, you need to focus on that n14 n15 part and all those experiments. And in replication, and yes, on the lack of problem and replication, much is not mentioned about all those, that how the leading student lagging student gets that, the lagging student calls up. That's not there in NCT much. So you just focus on the voice fork and Okazaki fragment. That's is enough. And then in Animal Kingdom, just focus on NCT, like at which kingdom who had change took place in those basic examples from Animal Kingdom. Plant Kingdom also focus on the examples like all your red algae, brown algae, all have that lots of experiments in MGO. Just focus on that. Oh, forgot to mention morphology, plant morphology again. Focus on insect. What is that? And about that floral formulas of the families, particularly the Brassicaceae and the Solanaceae and all. You know, you have read in insect, and in the basics like the living system, you get some tricky question. Then that we take as 5 classification, you just as easy, but you just need to see these ones. So you have actually 2 days. If you start from today night to tomorrow, actually you complete physics from tomorrow late night. Actually in 48 hours you can, I think, at most use 20 hours. If from tomorrow late night you start chemistry, complete it.